Alright, I want to talk about Josh Padley and Martin Bakole ahead of tonight's card. They have taken a fight on one of the biggest cards that we've ever seen, with 4 days' notice and 2 days' notice. And as we know, I talk about fighting not only from a technical standpoint, but from an energetic standpoint, from a mindset standpoint. If you've been around me for a minute, you'll know that me and Josh were momentary stablemates. We trained together back in 2023 in Marbella. We did a 4-day camp out there with an amazing coach called Kerry. I recommend if you ever want to get some cool training, go out to Marbella and train with Kerry. He's a boss. But the thing that I learned about Josh back then was that he's always ready. He was always ready. Even then, he knew that if the call was going to come for one of the biggest fights of his life, he had to walk around ready. He had to know that he'd always have to be close to the weight that he needed to be. He ate well, he trained well all the time. He didn't take breaks whilst working a full-time job, building his own house and doing all this kind of stuff. There was nothing that was going to shake him out of that process. Nothing that was going to make him unsteady on his feet through that process. He just knew that he was a destined champion. He knew that this is what he wanted to do. So he just made sure that in those disciplines, in the fact that he was working a full-time job and building a house and doing his training and all the things that he was doing, he was just unshakable. This is why I don't think people should sleep on him. People slept on him on the Mark Chamberlain fight. I think there was something crazy, like 86% of people voted that he was going to lose. And he was the first, he knocked down Mark Chamberlain and then he won the fight. Josh has nothing to lose doing this fight. So even if he loses the fight, he doesn't lose the fight because he comes away making a really big name for himself, because everybody's either asking what's so special about Josh Padley, or who is Josh Padley if they didn't know before. But he's gained the respect of the industry because you took this on 4 days' notice to fight for a belt, high up the card as well. Shakur has been training to fight somebody else based on his style, his technique, all of the things that he's been studying. So he's now going to have to realign to this whole new person. And it's not as easy to find footage of Josh fighting that it would be for, oh my God, I can't even remember his name. So I think the stability sits in Josh's corner, energetically speaking. And because I know that Josh doesn't get fazed by things. He doesn't care who you are. He doesn't care what your record is. He cares about the fact that this is his time. He's like, I'm ready. Let's go. It's almost like a kid in a playground, you know. That is why I don't feel like he's going to come into this fight fazed or able to be shaken by whoever and whatever the situation is. I also think that he knows that he wins either way. So be very, very, very good fight. Martin Bakole. I met Martin a few weeks ago and he is the sweetest man. He's a big teddy bear. But again, fantastic energy. He's very, very solid in himself. He's very, very gentle. Very, very gentle. But I guess with the understanding that you could kill somebody with one punch, you ain't got nothing to prove. You don't have to walk with your ego outside your body, throwing it around in people's faces. And the thing that Bakole has struggled with is getting opponents because people fear him. So he's found it very, 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 very difficult to get matchups. So he was really excited about his fight coming up in a month or so. 2 months. Can't remember. 2 months. Sorry, I literally flew in from Dubai yesterday and I got sick on the plane, so my brain is just not 100%. Moving on. Him taking this fight on 2 days' notice, again, it's another thing where it's like, I'm always ready. I know my sport. I know my ability. I'm going to take an opportunity as it comes. So again, he doesn't believe he has anything to prove. He obviously knows he has to show up because Joseph Parker is an incredible fighter. But I feel like both of these guys are like, I'm here for a good time. I'm here to put on a show. And it's almost like the pressure isn't as heavy as maybe it would have been normally because they haven't had time to think about it. And also, even if he loses to Parker, it doesn't matter. Because it's almost like, yeah, but you took the fight on 2 days' notice. There's almost like a comfort in that. Now, if you want to look at that overall, that works in both of their favours so much. But it can also, if you want to look at it at a you point or a normal person point or some people in general, that is a way of self-sabotaging. Some people under-prepare for things so that if they lose, they can come out the other side and go, it wasn't my fault because. It wasn't my fault because I didn't train that hard. Or it wasn't my fault because I didn't have that much this. It wasn't my fault because da-da-da-da. And people actually actively, subconsciously self-sabotage the situation so that when they come out the other side, if it goes against their favour, they don't have to sit in the shame that it was their fault, even though not training hard enough is their fault. So it means, though, in their cases, because this has come to them at the last minute, there's kind of a sense of freedom, which I think could work in both of their favours. But then we'll see. It could go against them completely, and both the other fighters could just be so prepared. But that's what I think is going to make it really exciting, because you've got 2 really good matchups on a cracking card. I'm gassed for it. I just wish I was there.